I don't know how it's 2024 and we still don't understand what it is that Usopp does in the crew. Of course he's a sniper, but that's not the only thing that he does. He's long since understood that backup is where he shines. And when you pay attention to the story, you see that every time we're in a situation where everybody else is busy doing something, Usopp does what everybody else can't do. Like for example, a lot of people said that Usopp didn't do anything in Wano only because what? He didn't have a 1v1 fight, as if that's ever been his motif. You say he didn't do anything, but here he is out here fighting squadrons of beast pirate soldiers and taking them out to a good extent. All in order to save Kinemon and Kiku. Kinemon, who is not only like the surrogate father to Momonosuke, but since this dude is an 8-year-old with a 28-year-old body, he is essentially the Shogun until Momonosuke can grow into the role. Your boy saved the Shogun of Wano, and he's a normal dude, and he brings this up all the time. Y'all try to call him weak or say that he sucks because he's scared in these situations, but he's scared in the middle of a war, but he's still fighting. With nothing but a slingshot and some pop greens in his pocket. Like, let me give you a real world example and see if you can like kind of relate to Usopp. Usopp being a normal human inside of like all of these wars that have been happening in the world of One Piece so far. With no 10-year training like Luffy and 2-year training with the right hand of the Pirate King. No genetic augmentations like Sanji and also sword training. No training in a dojo for however long Zoro did, plus training non-stop. To be strong enough to slice mountains in half, like I don't even think Usopp can work to get that strong. And everybody else is either a cyborg or has a devil fruit, so he definitely can't do what they do. So he's like a normal human that is like, let's say, dropped in Palestine with a bag of pop greens and a slingshot. And it's like, hey, save these people. Do you have military training? No, you don't. Do you have all this weaponry and all this information on what the enemy's about to do? No, you don't. Would you be scared out of your mind? Absolutely. Many people wouldn't even want to get off that plane because it's like, it's a scary situation to be in and you know that you're not equipped to deal with it. But like Usopp says here, it may look pathetic to keep struggling with tears and snot running down my face, but I don't care. I'll never stop clinging to life. You have to keep going, even if it's a disgrace. And he's doing this and saying all of this while saving Kinemon and Okiku. Like, it's absolutely disgusting when people say that Usopp did nothing in Wano with all the lives that he has saved. The 2,000 gifters that he converted over to our side thanks to the Kibidango. But oh, because he didn't have a 1v1, Usopp didn't do anything, Usopp is weak. You want to talk about a sniper from a perch? Remember he was up on high and he's the one that saved Robin when everybody else couldn't? That was Usopp. When the One Piece story was literally about to end because Sugar was about to touch Luffy, and then who was able to snipe her and stop that? Usopp. Minor spoiler coming up, so keep that in mind. But when the Sunny was sliding off the lava stratum and it was finna fall into the defense system and blow the entire Sunny up, who saves the ship? Usopp does. He saves the ship and stops it from falling overboard with his pop greens. But let me guess, in all of these situations, because he wasn't actively fighting somebody and like a strong person in a 1v1, he's weak. He's a disappointment. He doesn't do anything. You hear that plane? Don't they know I'm trying to make a video? So does Usopp run and scream for his life a lot? Yes, because he's a normal human in a very, very crazy world. But does that ever stop him from actually fighting to defend the people he's trying to protect or his crewmates? No. Y'all are just looking in the wrong places for Usopp feats, but he got a lot of them. And every time the crew is unable to handle something, the thing that they cannot do, Usopp does. Which brings me to one of my favorite quotes of all time from the Boondocks. And it's when Huey said, "Granddad, what do you do when you can't do nothing, but there's nothing you can do?" And Granddad says, "You do what you can." And that's exactly what Usopp does. Everybody's waiting for us to get to Elbaf so that Usopp can get his power up, but what if there's a power up that he could get while he's still on Egghead? Now, this may just be speculation on my part, but hear me out because I think it fits perfectly. So if you're somebody that reads the manga, you would notice that we have the cover stories, and there was also a Vegapunk cover story happening during the Egghead Island arc. And during this cover story, we get to see a lot of stuff between the other people and Vegapunk during the Mads days. And with one of them, you see Queen, Caesar, and Judge being jealous of Vegapunk over one of his inventions. And this invention of Vegapunk were flowers that can bloom in gunpowder. As you can see in the background, people like shooting tanks, but then nothing but flowers are coming out, just, absolutely ruining their manpower. And I gotta say, someone like Usopp who fights with plants with his pop greens, this is the perfect thing for him. He even has his own designated spot on the ship where he can just start planting these and making more. And one of the scenes in the manga where Usopp saves the Sunny with Brook and Lilith on it, you have Lilith who's thanking Usopp for doing this in the first place. So it wouldn't surprise me if, she gave Usopp something as a reward. And I think for a sniper that doesn't use guns himself, this is absolutely perfect because now it's like, you can't use a gun either. And of all the people Usopp can fight in One Piece, there's one person that this thing would be absolutely perfect for. And that would be whenever the time comes where he has to fight or deal with Von Augur in some way. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. Even with the upgrade from Elbaf or something, Von Augur just looks to be so on point that I don't see Usopp ever beating this dude like in a straight up like sniper battle. Not because he can't aim well, but this dude has a warp quirk. How you gonna hit a dude that can just like not be there? But if Usopp can use his observation haki to predict where he goes, then launch a crazy trick shot like he did against Sugar, but maybe he misses or the impact doesn't do anything, so Von Augur thinks he's good. Like, oh, this dude, he sucks. He's using a slingshot after all. And then right before Von Augur goes for the final shot, nothing but flowers come out. And maybe he was like trying to snipe a shot that Usopp was already shooting at him, but he can't no more because nothing but flowers came out, and in this moment he gets hit. I can definitely see something like this happening because Usopp has to rely on a lot of tricks to win his fights, and this will be one of the best tricks he could ever pull. And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but you know, with the flowers being a thing, Usopp using pop greens, and Usopp even having the means to grow more of this if he were to get some, I think this would be a perfect power for him if he were to leap Egghead with it.